Hey Gary, I wanted to respond real quick to your video. Um, for the most part, I agree that we need to move past theism and dogma, and that the Catholic Church saying things like that birth control and condoms are evil is really not helping the state of the world or the human species' ability to sort of rein in the tremendous overpopulation that we've brought about. But certainly, it is not religion's fault that we have overpopulation. It's as much our technological and scientific advances fault as it is religion's fault. So I wouldn't just demonize religion and theism here, um, because certainly, I think most theists today, leaving aside the fundamentalist extremists, and yeah, there may be a lot of those, but still, most theists are perfectly willing to treat their religion as a private matter. They're secular in the sense that they realize that God doesn't play as large a public role in society as he may have used to play. But I think we're kind of in an unstable social atmosphere at the moment, because while we may have gotten rid of the need to rely on theism for this overarching worldview that we need to, um, participate in a social world with each other, we haven't produced anything new. We haven't constructed a new worldview. So atheism has sort of wiped the slate clean, but it hasn't offered anything to replace it, and we do need something to replace it. And we have lots of scientific facts and data, but the facts and data need to be glued together into a coherent, meaningful human picture, and we haven't really been able to do that yet. So we don't just need to be atheistic, we need to actually offer something positive um, in regards to how human beings should live and what the good life is. And you could say that we ought to become devoted to intelligence, and that that's the purpose of our existence here. And I'm a little uneasy about that. I would rather say we ought to be devoted to human flourishing. Um, Whatever it is that turns out to allow for the most human flourishing, the most human happiness and sense of well-being and peace, that is what we should be motivated by. Um, the abstract search for some universal truths that have nothing to do with human beings is a nice hobby, and certainly I'm not saying we should stop that and rein in all scientific investigation, but I'm just saying for that to be the goal of human society, I don't know if that's exactly my picture of a better world. I think human happiness, discovering the ways that allow that, and certainly I'm taking it for granted that human happiness and human peace means also ecological balance and sustainability, and it's a peace and a human happiness that is equally offered to all members of our species as well as every other species alive on this planet. It wouldn't be just this particular nation looks out for its happiness and fucks everybody else. I'm talking about a global sense of humanity coming together for the good of all, for the good of the planet, rather than just devoting ourselves to intelligence. Certainly we will need to be smart and rational and practical to figure out the best way to encourage human flourishing. But we can't be single-mindedly devoted to finding truth, because in a lot of cases truth comes in the form of a mathematical equation, and what good is that for helping human beings find meaning in their lives? Not necessarily any good at all. And one other thing that you said, I just wanted to touch on, that you said we know that the heart isn't involved in feeling or thinking, and that the brain is the sacred organ, the brain is the seat of consciousness. We don't actually know that about the heart. Actually, there's a science that started maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, called neurocardiology, and they're discovering that the heart has almost as many neurons and as much neural activity as the brain, and that the heart produces an electromagnetic field. And this may sound like new age crazy pseudoscience, but there's actually a lot of legitimate research going on in major universities across the United States. So the book is still open on whether or not the heart is part of human cognition and plays a role in how we think and feel about the world. So just wanted to throw that in there. But that's about it.